Hello and welcome once again to my channel, Katiesempathy, in the series Powerful Feminine Energy Unleashed. Happy 4th of July to all of you, and I know that today my video is a bit late. Yesterday evening was not a day that I was able to record a video. And I would have made my video earlier this morning, but I kind of wanted to do a reflective video today because I think there's value both in, what can I be prepared for today, and also there is value in, well, what could I learn from today? What can I learn from what has happened today? So that's what we're going to do for July the 4th. We are going to do a reflective reading, which means we are going to be asking the Divine Feminine, what can I learn from July 4th? What can I learn from what has happened on July 4th? So if you're watching this in the evening time after I post it, or if you're watching it on the 5th or anytime this week, this will be a reading that will help you understand what you can learn from the events that happened on July the 4th. I assume for anyone who's in the USA watching this video, a lot of you may be celebrating the holiday. You may be around a lot of people. You may be around family. So that's always a good situation to go back and reflect and think on the things that happened and how we can learn from the situation. All right, so without further ado, let's address the cards. All right, so here are the cards, and I always shuffle on camera so that you can see that we are not choosing any cards ahead of time. And I'm just going to address Spirit. I'm going to say thank you, Spirit, for being here. Help us pull the card today that we most need. If Divine Feminine would grace us with her presence so that we can learn from her, so that we can receive her messages. Thank you so much for being here. Calling the spirit guides, my own spirit guides and the spirit guides of those watching this video, on the energy of our higher selves and on the feminine inside of each and every one of us, male and female. Help us understand the lessons that we can learn from today, July the 4th. And what can we learn from today? For all of my viewers out here, what can anyone who watching this video, what can they learn from today? All right, so I pulled the card, Mira Bai, the Saint of True Freedom. You watched me. I didn't pick out any cards. I just shuffled them. And what do you know? I get the Saint of True Freedom today. Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. There you go. Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. Wow, isn't that something else? This day where we celebrate freedom, and I chose the card, the Saint of True Freedom. All right, I'm just going to look her up here. 84. All right. Mira Bai embodies a love that lets us do what's right for our own lives, no matter what others think. Mira Bai, or Mira, is a Bhakti poet and mystic from Rajasthan, India. She was born a princess in the late 15th century. She unwillingly married Bhoj Ra, the crown prince of Mewar, in 1516, but she considered Krishna to be her true husband. Legends say that her husband's family tried to kill her several times for defying the social customs and expectations of a wife. But in each of these legends, Mira Bai's love for Krishna would miraculously save her. She wears the Krishna tilaka, the forehead marking, as a sign of her devotion to him. Northern India in the 16th century was besieged by violent battles between Hindus and Muslims. Mira Bai's husband, father, and father-in-law all died in the war with the Islamic army of Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire. Mira Bai refused to join her husband on his funeral pyre, and again defied social and cultural expectations. She became the central poet saint of the Bhakti movement during this difficult period in Indian history. The Bhakti movement is a spiritual path focused on the cultivation of a personal love for the divine. It's a devotional form of worship that believes anyone can have direct access to the divine, regardless of sex, caste, or religion. Mira Bai became the symbol of people suffering under the caste system and the persecution that ensued if anyone tried to defy social and political standing. Mira Bai's poems are lyrical padas, or love songs using metric verses, and they are so widely known and cherished because they relate an ultimate freedom that Mira Bai lived out in her love for Krishna. Wow. So, Mira defied social structure. She was in an arranged marriage with her husband, and, of course that was the custom back then, but even though she was married to him, she refused to follow the social structure that meant for her. She was in love with Krishna, so she chose freedom over social norms and social structures. And, it's July 4th, and are we not celebrating all those freedoms today? And even though we have a long ways to go in, making freedom for everyone, we have come so far, and we have, just the fact that I can speak on this platform as a woman to you speaks in volumes. And for me today, I am so glad that I live in the United States because I grew up in a very conservative setting where my marriage was going to be arranged for me. And because we live in the United States, I was able to make that choice that no, this is not the path that I'm going to take in my life. Just because this is what my family wants, that's not what I need to do, because I value my freedom over religion, over these other things. And what was it? Let's see. Something in here. Yes, it's a devotional. Let's see. The Bhakti movement is a spiritual path focused on the cultivation of a personal love for the divine. It's a devotional form of worship that believes anyone can have direct access to the divine, regardless of sex, caste, or religion. So, freedom of spirituality, freedom of expression, freedom of our hearts is all what Mira Bai was about. And again, I am terrible at pronouncing some of these things, so bear with me. So that's an amazing thing to learn about her. So now, when your soul selects this card, we'll read that section of the book. Often, without even realizing it, we make choices based on external expectations, on how we think other people will perceive our actions. Mira Bai is about doing what's right for you and no one else. Ultimately, only you can know what needs to be done or said. You have this one brief life, and every second of it matters. Mira Bai is about standing up for what you know is right for you, what is right for you, even if others will judge you for it. The fear of being persecuted can convince us not to be true to who we really are. There's a love, though, that's far larger than human constructs and cultural values. Love isn't ethical. Love isn't bound by any idea of what's socially acceptable. Love is what sets us free from the expectations that bind us. Love, in whatever way it finds us, asks us to stay loyal to our own soul. Any outside force or person who asks us to betray our most intimate relationship with the divine isn't acting out of love. For Mira Bai, her true husband wasn't the one she was married to. The love that made her brave, the love that inspired her, every poem and action, was a divine love for Krishna. So the laws that bound her to the strict expectations of being a wife didn't actually apply to her. Love asks us to look at what really matters to us, at what we truly value. And love asks us to bravely defy expectations in order to be true to ourselves. Love wants us to marry our own soul. So I realized that on a day like today, or if you're watching this on the 5th, on a day like the 4th of July, there's a lot of expectations for how we celebrate that, how we celebrate American freedom. And I want you to reflect on what freedom means for you. What does celebrating that freedom mean for you? What does a holiday like the 4th of July mean to you? It may not mean the same thing for you as it means for the next person. But at the end of the day, what does it mean to be an American for you? What does it mean to be a United States citizen? For me, it means that I get to be who I want to be and stand for what I stand, no matter how others feel about it. And I realize that a lot of things that I believe, others may not believe, and my family may disagree. Some of my friends might even disagree. I may even be ostracized socially sometimes for it, and I have, and I will continue to be. Just believing in this kind of spirituality for me is exposing myself to some people as a heretic, or all the different things that people think of when it's outside of their norm or what they understand or know. So it's so important to me to continue to do this, even though others don't agree with it, even though others don't see things the way I do, because it doesn't really matter what others see or how others treat me, because I know in my heart what is right for me. And no matter what others do or say to me, they can't take away my freedom. And freedom, true freedom, is freedom of your mind, freedom of your heart, because it doesn't matter. No one, no matter what they do to you, they cannot control your heart, and they cannot control your mind unless you allow them to. So how can we show our freedom? How can we follow our hearts despite what others think? The soul voice meditation is what holds me back from expressing my truth. What holds me back from expressing my truth? And is that thing actually important? Is there anything more important than your truth? And is anyone else's feelings or actions more important than your truth? Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. I am married to my own soul. You are if you're watching this, you're probably part of some sort of social construct, whether it's your country, whether it's your school, whether it's your church. And in some ways, those people probably expect you to represent them. But at the end of the day, if that doesn't coincide with what's in your heart and what's in your soul, who are you going to represent? So thank you for watching. I hope this message came to you in perfect divine timing. I hope it was exactly what you needed to hear when you needed to hear it. Take a minute today to reflect on the 4th of July and this reading and how you can move forward in the future based on what you learned. And I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Thank you, and come back.